Let's pause on that question, not rush past it, not skip it like another line in another speech. Let it hit you. What if the enemy you've been running from is already inside you? Think about all the moments you've second-guessed yourself, all the dreams you've abandoned, not because you lacked the skill, the heart, or the drive, but because some quiet voice whispered, "You're not good enough. That's not for people like you. You'll never make it." That voice, it didn't come from outside. It came from within. And that's what makes it so dangerous. Because it doesn't shout, it whispers. It disguises itself as logic, humility, caution. It shows up in thoughts like, maybe I should just stay where I'm safe. I don't want to make a fool of myself. I'll try later, when I'm more ready, more qualified, more perfect. But here's the truth, and it's going to sting a little. The devil that has held you back all this time was never standing in front of you. It's been renting space in your mind, disguised as doubt, fear, and hesitation. And it thrives in silence. It grows when you don't speak your truth. It multiplies when you delay your dreams. Let's be raw for a moment. How many times have you felt something inside you say, go, speak, create, begin? And how many times have you responded with, maybe tomorrow, but tomorrow becomes next week becomes next year, and then one day you look back and realize that the devil didn't take your life, it stole your time, your dreams, your fire, your becoming. And that voice still whispers, it's too late now. But hear me, right now, in this moment. It's not too late. You are not your past mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not the echo of someone else's opinion. You are power wrapped in skin. You are vision waiting to be unleashed. You are purpose pulsing with potential. But to walk into that, to own that, you have to face the voice inside. Look it in the eye and say, you are not the truth. You are not me. You're just the ghost of old pain and inherited fear. And you no longer get to drive this life. It's time to evict the enemy from your mind, to stop running and start rising. Because the greatest rebellion you can ever lead is choosing to believe in yourself. Not in theory, not in some vague someday, but right now, in this very breath. You were not created to just survive this life. You were born to rewrite it, to outwit the doubt, to overcome the devil. And I promise you, when you do, you won't just change your world, you'll change everyone watching. So don't stop now. Don't click away. There's more to this journey. There's more to you. Stay with me through this message, because the next step we take together could be the moment that your entire life shifts. You've already faced the devil inside. Now it's time to outwit it. Let's get real for a second. Not surface level real, not motivational poster real. I mean gut check real. Are you being led by your purpose, or are you being dragged by your past, your fears, and everything you think you should be? Because there's a massive difference between living with intention and simply reacting to life as it happens. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you chose your direction not out of survival, not out of fear, but from clarity, from vision, from fire, from that place deep inside that knows why you're here? Too many are waking up every day being dragged by old pain that never got healed, dragged by responsibilities that don't align with their truth, dragged by expectations placed on them by a society that never asked what sets their soul on fire. And listen, that kind of life, it's exhausting. It's like carrying an invisible weight no one sees, but you feel every single day. You smile, you push through, but inside, you're tired. Not just physically tired, soul tired, because you know you were meant for more. And that voice inside, the one that whispers when everything else is quiet, it's not asking for a vacation. It's asking for alignment. It's asking, when are you going to stop living on autopilot and start living on purpose? See, being led by purpose doesn't mean everything is perfect. It doesn't mean the road is smooth or easy, but it means you wake up knowing your why. It means you walk through storms not because you have to, but because what you're walking toward is worth it. Being led means choosing discomfort on purpose instead of sitting in misery by default. And maybe right now, you're sitting in a job that drains you. Maybe you're stuck in a cycle that repeats like a song you're sick of hearing. And the devil inside you says, this is just how life is. Be grateful. Don't ask for more. But listen, you weren't born to exist. You were born to lead. Lead your life. Lead your story. Because no one's coming to save you. The rescue mission, it's you, choosing to stop being dragged by what was and start walking with what can be. And if you don't know your purpose yet, that's okay. Start here. What breaks your heart? What lights you up? What can't you stop thinking about, no matter how many times you try to silence it? That's your compass. And here's the truth most never tell you. Your life won't change when the conditions are perfect. It'll change when you decide you're no longer available for anything less than alignment. So, are you being led or are you being dragged? Because you can't do both. You can't carry the weight of who the world told you to be and still fly toward who you were born to become. Cut the rope. Let go of the roles that no longer fit, the stories that no longer serve, the fear that's too familiar. Step into the unknown, not because it's safe, but because it's yours. And when you do, you'll stop moving through life just to get through the day. You'll start waking up for something greater. You'll lead your life, and others will rise because you did. Stay with me. Don't leave just yet, because in the next keynote, we're going even deeper, into the pain, into the purpose, into the sacred power of your story. We're not just surviving anymore, we're rising together. Let's slow down for a moment and ask the question again, but this time, really feel it. When did you forget that your scars are sacred, not ugly, not shameful, not something to hide under layers of perfection, filters, or fake smiles? Sacred. Let's be honest, somewhere along the way, the world taught you to cover up what hurt. They told you to be strong, which somehow meant being silent. They told you to get over it when you hadn't even had the chance to face it. And so you buried it. All of it. The pain, the grief, the trauma. The moments you cried alone because no one would understand. The silent battles where you were the only warrior and the only witness. But here's the truth no one told you. What you went through didn't break you, it built you. Every scar you carry is proof. You survived. Let that sink in. Not everyone made it through what you did. Not everyone is standing today, but you are, and those scars, they're not a sign of weakness. They are the marks of a soul that's been to war and came back wiser, more grounded, more compassionate, more real. You see, the devil doesn't just want to keep you in pain. It wants you to be ashamed of it, to hide it, to deny it, to pretend it never happened. But healing doesn't come from hiding. Healing comes from honoring the journey. You are not damaged goods. You are living art, a walking, breathing testimony. Your story holds power, not in spite of the scars, but because of them. And maybe no one ever said this to you before, so let me say it now. You have nothing to be ashamed of. Not the choices you made to survive, not the mistakes you learned from, not the pain you carried for far too long. You are still worthy. You are still whole. You are still here, and that means your purpose is not done yet. So what if, instead of hiding your scars, you started showing them? What if your transparency became someone else's permission to heal? What if the very thing you thought disqualified you is actually what makes you powerful beyond measure? There's someone out there right now praying for hope, searching for proof that they can come back from the edge. And maybe you are the evidence they need. But they'll never see that light if you keep it buried under shame. So here's the shift. Stop running from your past. Stop silencing your pain. Stop apologizing for the scars that made you strong. Start honoring them. Look in the mirror and say, this is what healing looks like. This is what survival looks like. This is what strength actually looks like. It's not polished, it's not perfect, it's raw, it's real, it's you, and the world doesn't need more perfect people. The world needs more real ones. More bold, scarred, beautifully human hearts who are willing to say, I've been through it and I'm still rising. So don't you dare dim your light because of where you've been. You earned every inch of your strength. Let the world see it, because your scars don't make you broken. They make you whole. Stay with me, because in the next part of this journey, we're going to confront the fear that still tries to hold you back and learn how to rise with faith that refuses to be silenced. We're just getting started. Take a deep breath. Now ask yourself, really ask yourself, whose voice is louder in your life right now, your fear or your faith? It's a question we don't often sit with because the answer can be uncomfortable. Because if we're honest, fear is loud. It's persistent. It shows up dressed as logic. It sounds reasonable, even responsible. It says things like, what if it doesn't work? What if they laugh? What if you lose everything? And if you're not grounded in something deeper, that fear will run your life. It will build a cage around your dreams, one that's invisible but impossible to ignore. And here's the thing about fear. It doesn't have to be true to be powerful. It just has to be loud. And sometimes it is. Sometimes it's the loudest voice in the room, echoing past pain, past rejection, past failure, telling you to shrink, to settle, to stay safe. But here's what fear doesn't want you to know. You've already survived the things you once thought you couldn't. You've already made it through storms that should have taken you out, and you're still standing. That's not weakness. That's faith, even if you didn't recognize it at the time. Because faith isn't just about some spiritual idea. It's about believing in something beyond the fear. Sometimes that something is a dream. Sometimes it's a purpose. Sometimes it's just the hope that tomorrow could be different. But that little flicker inside you, that's your light. That's your power, and if you feed it, if you nurture it, it will grow louder than any fear that tries to silence you. Faith doesn't mean you won't be afraid. It means you show up anyway. It means you raise your hand in a room that makes you nervous. It means you speak even when your voice shakes. It means you take the step before the whole path is clear. It means you choose to believe that your life has meaning, even when you don't see the full picture yet. You have to understand this. Fear is a liar. It is always trying to keep you where you are. But faith is a builder, a lifter, a force that takes what little you have and makes it enough. It's not about having it all figured out. It's about saying, even if I'm scared, even if I've failed before, I still believe something in me is worth fighting for. Because there is something in you, there's a version of you that's stronger than the one fear wants you to believe in. A version that's bold, courageous, lit up with a vision that fear can't touch. And you'll never meet that version if you keep bowing to fear. You've got to choose every day, fear or faith. And no, it won't always be easy, but every time you choose faith, every time you move forward when fear says stop, you are rewriting the narrative of your life. You are proving to the world and to yourself that the voice of fear is not your master. You are. So let me ask you again, whose voice will you listen to now? Because one will build your prison, and the other will set you free. Stay with me. Because next we'll step into your legacy, your mark, your message, and why your life will always matter more than you know. The journey isn't over, it's just getting started. Let that question sit with you, not just in your head, but in your spirit. What if the pain wasn't just pain? What if the struggle wasn't just struggle? What if the heartbreak, the trauma, the rock bottom moments were never meant to end you, but to empower you? You see, the devil doesn't always come in horns and shadows. Sometimes it shows up as a moment that felt like it would break you. A betrayal, a failure, a season of silence where it felt like no one could hear your cries. It shows up in the form of what happened to you. But what if, just what if, what was meant to destroy you is actually the very material you need to change the world? We all have chapters we don't read out loud, wounds we try to pretend don't still ache, stories we feel are too messy, too painful, too raw to share. But hear this, your mess is your message, your pain is your platform. Your wounds, once healed, can become someone else's doorway to freedom. You didn't go through all that for nothing. You didn't survive the worst days of your life just to hide in the background. There is divine strategy in your survival. You see, people don't connect with perfection. They connect with real. They connect with truth. They connect with someone who says, I've been where you are. I've cried those same tears. I've wanted to quit too. But I'm still here, and if I made it through, you can too. That's power. That's purpose. That's what happens when you stop running from what broke you and start reclaiming it. You want to know what real strength is? Real strength is standing in the middle of your brokenness and saying, this didn't destroy me, it rebuilt me. So take the devil's weapons and forge something greater. Take the rejection and turn it into resilience. Take the loss and turn it into love. Take the silence and turn it into a voice that sets others free. You have no idea how many lives your courage could heal. How many people are waiting to hear your story? Not the cleaned up version, but the truth. The pain, the tears, the rising. You didn't survive all that just to live a small, safe life. You were meant to build something with it. A movement, a mission, a message. You are the proof that pain can produce purpose. That fire can refine instead of destroy. That even what the enemy used for evil can be turned into something holy. But only if you stop hiding. Only if you stop pretending it didn't happen. Only if you stand in your truth and own every inch of your becoming. So let me ask you again, what if the very thing the devil used to break you is the exact thing you're meant to use to build others? Don't waste your pain. Don't silence your story. Don't play small with the gifts your scars gave you. Rise, not just for you, but for them. The ones who are still in the dark, searching for light. You've become the lighthouse now, and if you made it this far, I know something inside you is waking up. That part of you that's been buried beneath fear and silence is rising. Let it. And if this message spoke to something deep inside you, if you felt seen, if you felt shifted, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more real, raw, soul-shifting content like this. We're not here just to listen, we're here to transform. Because your story isn't over, it's just beginning.